My name is Rich, and through Christ-Centered Inner Healing, Jesus has set me free of the panic attacks that I suffered for a number of years. I guess everybody has a fear of public speaking, but certainly in public school and high school I did, but it always seemed to be much more than anybody else's. But in 1992, during a business session, I completely had a panic attack. My hands shook, I trembled, a teacup I was holding just shook apart, and I was very, very embarrassed in front of just a number of people who I was trying to sell some software to. This continued through our Bible studies. That I had just become a Christian at the time. We had a fellowship group, and I found that I couldn't even read the Bible during our fellowship group. I actually had to leave the room and make excuses for leaving the room at that time. It was horrible. Anybody who's had a panic attack knows precisely what or how horrible they are. I went for Christian counseling through our church, and there were a few answers. I also tried some secular things like the Dale Carnegie course, and that was helpful as well. But again, I knew that there was something back there that was causing me this grief, and I just couldn't figure out what it was. In grade 1, at the age of, what, 6 years old, I was pretty fearless. I could get up in front of the class and I could read, and in fact the teacher had me read while she prepared lessons for the next day. But somehow, by the time I hit grade 2, all that had changed, and I didn't know what that, what really at all, what it was. And then I had heard about ALF. I'd known about ALF for quite some time and knew about Christ-Centered Inner Healing, but I had always thought, no, I'll just, I could go, but no, I won't go. And finally, my church sponsored me to attend, and I was a pastor at the time, not enjoying a lot of things about preaching, but managing to get through each day. In the very first session with ALF, we were able to go back to what had happened to me during grade 2. And I had asked my grade 2 teacher to let me read in front of the class. And of course, I remembered nothing of this outside of the session or before the session. I'd asked the teacher to let me read, and she had refused. And it was a split grade 2-3 class, and she had the grade 3s read. And I guess I pestered her, and finally she relented, but she pulled a trick on me. She gave me material to read that was far beyond my ability to read. And as I stumbled over all of the words, the class laughed at me. And at that point, I made a vow, I'll never do that again. And that was the root of really where the issues were. And through ALF, we broke that vow. We broke Satan's hold on me through that vow. And since that time, I have been able to speak freely in public. This actually is a testimony to that. So my life has really changed around where there was no joy in speaking, where I wouldn't say that it was a chore, but it was not a delight. Now there is joy in really all of the aspects of my pastoral ministry.